Hey, it is She Writes Well Too here, back with another blog. Make sure you like, share, subscribe if you wish. Okay, so another topic that I had on my mind today was just black women. I just have a question because I find this like in dating. It just seems that in relationships that I've been in, these have been long-term relationships, a year, 2 years, 3 years, whatever. It's been a year at the minimum, something that you think is serious or going to lead to marriage or what have you. I seem to find this trend of like black men want to commit to you, but only to a certain extent. Like, I've had so many men that I've dated tell me, oh, well, this is even during the relationship or even if it doesn't work out. Oh, I feel like you make a great mother. I'd make you a mother anytime if, that's what you wanted, or we met up later in life and you still didn't have any children. And it's like, these men don't want to marry me. I don't know if they actually did at one point, but it's kind of like, is it any benefit to keep a man in your life if you don't feel like he is husband or father material? Then what purpose does he really serve in your life? And this is a question that I'm asking myself as of recently. I've had to cut some people out. I've had to, cut out exes and people that I just feel like are not really, adding any value to me. They're not making me better. They're not even, minimally at least encouraging me to, go after my dreams or, not stay down, or they're not encouraging me to do anything positive. It's kind of like, the question is, are black women only destined to be like baby mamas or, forever girlfriends with black men? Do black men even want to be married? Because it seems to me, and I hate to say it, but I've run into this so many times, it seems like black men only want to marry when they're either, over 45 or at least 40, at the least age 40, or like I said, they're old, at least about 40, or they have a bunch of, child support situations, or just a bunch of children, a bunch of baby mama drama back and forth, or they're young and feel like they don't really want to work or have to contribute, so they're playing on the fact that, oh, you might be, still in your 30s or whatever, so you're still, young enough to produce children and stuff like that, or you might be the type that's kind of like a worker bee or like, career type of woman, so they target you. So it's like, in a nutshell, black men, I feel like, only view marriage as like, a step up, basically. It's like, I don't know if they're really in love with me as a black woman, or they just in love with what they feel like I can do for them. Now, on the other hand, I personally haven't ran into any men that I felt like would be husbands. And the crazy thing about it is, the closer it got to me following through with a marriage, because I've been proposed to about 3 times, okay? Only one of the situations actually led to an actual ring, okay? The other situations, it was like, it just wasn't sitting right with my spirit. There were too many other things happen. It seems like, black men tend to use that whole let's be engaged thing as a way to kind of, keep you on ice, just so that you'll stay in the relationship. Like, an engagement is basically, it's serious to you, but it's not really serious to them. It's kind of like, oh, I think she'll make a good wife. Let me propose to her so she'll stay in place. And then in your mind, you're feeling like, oh my God, this person is actually wanting me to be a wife. So like most women, we X out every other situation we're thinking about. We're telling our parents we're over here in wife and, wedding mode. So then we start doing even more than we were doing. And it's like, think about it. What's being engaged? Does that mean you're like a super girlfriend or something like that? And on the other hand, when these men do propose to you, what are they doing on their end to make you feel like they're ready to be a husband? It's like everybody wants to have a ready-made wife and a girlfriend, but they're not showing you any husband qualities. And in fact, when I've been in any situation where a man proposed to me, it's like the closer it got time for him to deliver on that proposal and actually be married, he either just stopped moving forward altogether, or he started doing things that were so disrespectful that you couldn't overlook it. Like, talking to other women, or just flat out wasting time, or just putting you on the back burner, making you feel like you're sex and, not really bringing anything else to the table. So me personally, I'm just like, are black women only destined to be baby mamas and girlfriends? Because when you look at most of these scenarios, a lot of these men seem to only be tied down to women that have had children by them. And they're not in a relationship with these women anymore. These women have gone on, married other men, had other children. So she's far surpassed thinking about, his ass in a relationship sense at all. But I just feel like as a black woman, I feel like I cannot get, a black man to take me serious, because I am not willing to just have children without thinking about it in a responsible manner. Because personally, I don't believe that I should bring children into the world if I'm not in a place where I can financially take care of them, not just as a team with him, but on my own. Because as we know, men say a lot of things, they skin and grin until you're pregnant, and then when you're pregnant, it's kind of like, hey, you're on your own. And also that brings up another point, because a lot of black men tell you, and tell me personally, I feel like you'll make a great mother. And I feel like because they feel like I would be responsible and independent, they feel like I can do the mothering on my own. So when I looked at it another way, it made me feel like they would have no problem abandoning me and my child, because they feel like, she's independent, she can do it on her own, because that's how I met her and that's how she was. And on the flip side of that, it seems like the women that are the most irresponsible tend to have men or black men that look after them even more than the women that are responsible. So it's kind of like, I guess I'm saying, in my experience as a black woman and dating black men, it seems that the only way I can get a black man to act with some sense is if I start acting, even more irresponsible than he's acting. So then he feels like he has to step into almost this, pseudo father role. But that's just some food for thought. I mean, any comments on it? Make sure you like, share, subscribe to the blog. But again, are black women just destined to be baby mamas and longtime girlfriends? Are these men really out here looking for wives, or are they just looking for stability and who will actually pay bills? It's a good question. All right, I'm out.